Thanks for tuning into another episode of She Laughs, a podcast dedicated to bringing you honest and transparent viewpoints in this daily faith journey. Now join with me as we listen to T and Kristal discuss the latest.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Kristal.
What's up, everybody? It's Tanisha.
Welcome to another episode of She Laughs.
Yes.
Hope all of you had a beautiful Valentine's Day.
Or weekend or whatever.
Yes. If you're single like me, don't go watch the photograph, okay? Go buy
Either way, if you're single, I hope you enjoyed Love
Yes.
Day. Love on yourself.
Yes, go buy your own self some flowers. Don't let that ex creep back in now.
Yes.
So, as always, guys, we're jumping right on into the topic. So, T, what are we talking about today?
It's something that we had thought about at the beginning of the year. But, we had to finish out the Spirit series.
Yes.
And so, though we are in the middle, are we in the middle of February?
We are.
Kind of toward it. Yeah, this is the middle of February.
January was stupid long, and February has been
one
like
of the
an
longest
hour.
months we have. So, yeah. This topic that we're talking about today is just basically talking about vision and how that seems to be everybody's go-to word for the beginning of every year.
Yes, Lord.
And especially with this being 2020 and everyone wanting to use the catchphrase of having
Perfect vision.
2020 vision, perfect vision, whatever.
All types of vision.
We just kind of wanted to give our little 2 cents on what we thought about that and whether we agreed or disagreed or whatever.
Yes.
That's really it.
So one of the things, first I am going to just quote Dr. Matthew Stevenson on this. And he says, I know it's 2020, but is perfect vision the only thing the Lord is saying about the year? This year is going to be hard for many of your prophecies to work because it's hard to find words that rhyme with 20. And that's just exactly, in a nutshell, how I feel. I personally feel like your vision should have already been set. And if the Lord is saying that to you and your church and your house, God bless you. I get it. But I think we've gotten to a point where a lot of preachers now are using things that just rhyme with the year,
Right.
instead of really discerning what God is saying about the year. And so do I personally believe that 2020 is the year of vision? No, absolutely not. I believe 2020 is a year of fruition.
Right.
Of manifestation. I think, and I said it at the end of last year, God literally was drawing a line in the sand and sifting out the tare from the wheat in his people, and making a clear distinction of who is his child and who is not. That doesn't make them bad or wrong as people, but he literally was setting apart his children that literally was on fire for him, had unyielding faith, had went through the furnace of affliction, and was saying, I'm about to do some things for these, my children, who have stayed with me and definitely voiced their desire to be a child of God. And so for me, the year of 2020, our apostle literally said it, and we have seen it being said in various ways through other ministries, is that this is the year of the love realm.
Right.
Where God literally just wants to love and lavish on his children. Some of the visions that people are saying, I'm like, y'all should have wrote that down years ago, because this year is time to run with them.
Right. Exactly.
So I hope if, Lord, to quote the lady who preached this past Sunday, if you haven't wrote the vision down, baby, you a month late.
You most certainly are. And my take on it is, most people, the point of really having a vision is to set yourself up for goals and things that you want to try to achieve, which is great. My extra 2 cents on it is you really should be thinking of it in terms of how businesses run. And usually they do not set goals for the current year.
No.
They set goals for the following year. Mm-hmm. So if you are wanting to or desire to start setting a vision for yourself for the year, it really needs to have been what did you set for yourself last year?
Yes.
So whatever you want to do this year, you should have thought of it in 2019. And I don't mean the end of 2019.
Yes.
I mean the beginning of 2019. So whatever you're setting this year or now, it should be for what you want to do next year in 2021, not what you want to do now in this year. So that's that. The second thing is, I'm going to be real honest. I'm tired of seeing houses and cars and going to school on people's vision boards.
Child, preach. Come on with it now.
There's nothing wrong with wanting those things, but to me, they are very superficial. Because I know though you guys act like, or this society acts like they don't care what people think, you really do. Which is why you always attain or want to attain the big house and the fancy car and things. But real growth to me is maturity in character and maturity spiritual wise. Yes. You did not grow if you did not grow in maturity of how you treat people. Work on certain flaws that you need to fix, that you know you need to fix. Work on things like your marriage if you are married, working on being a good listening wife, learning to be a good supportive husband. And if you are single, learning to continue to prepare yourself for marriage if that's your desire. To me, those are goals.
Yes.
Not, I want a house, I want a car, I want to lose weight, I want to get a degree. Because you can have all those things and still be, I almost cussed, Lord, still be a piss poor person.
Yes, God.
Spiritual and character-wise. You're still the same gossipy person. You're still the same backbiting person. You're still the same greedy person. Because you wanted to chase the bag.
Secure the bag.
Or secure the bag, yeah. That's your goal. I'm trying to get this bag.
And I'm like, the bag
and
is
if
always
that's,
going to be there.
Child, if that's you, that's good. If you're Christian, I would definitely suggest that you revise those thoughts. Because then who is your provider? You or God. Because if the bag is to be secured, is really to be secured by God and not you.
Yep.
But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Everybody's view of goals is different, but mine are just, they're beyond houses and cars, which is great to want to attain that. Wanting to attain the feeling of purchasing a home and purchasing a car and owning those things are wonderful. But, sir, ma'am, sir, if that's the only thing on your to-do list, we need to rethink that.
And I would say my feelings toward that are the same as Tanisha's. I've realized we're a culture now that just thinks that my life worth is tied up in the house, the car, and the position that I have at work. And we rarely think about ministry. And when I say ministry, I do not just mean in the pulpit. What is your life legacy about? What are people going to say about you when you leave the earth? Better yet, how is your mind, your thoughts, your values still going to stay in the earth after you are gone? So for me, yes, I want a house. That is definitely a goal to attain to. But my reasoning for wanting the house is so that I can literally go back and rest from the work that I am doing in the earth.
Right.
And so then you have to think about, what work am I doing in the earth? Is it just that I'm just a wife? Is it just that I'm just a mother? Or am I actually giving in some type of way? Am I trying to mentor the youth? Am I trying to feed the homeless?
Exactly.
Am I trying to help our veterans who 90%, not 90% of them, but 90% of our homeless at some point have served in our armed forces?
Right.
So what am I trying to do to make my mark in this world other than I stayed here, I bought a house, and I had a good time with my friends? At some point, us as Christians, we have to want something bigger and better for ourselves, because that is literally why God placed you here. He thought of a problem. He said, I have a solution for that. And then he created you.
That's good.
So before, that is why he said, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you, because you were literally a thought, an idea, a problem solver to a problem that he saw that was in the earth. And so here you are, instead of solving that problem, you are literally thinking that all your goals and all your vision boards is about you, instead of the problem that you were put here to solve.
Yeah, that's what your purpose is, really.
Yes.
Honestly, that's what your purpose is.
But we think our purpose is, and I'm not knocking 9 to 5, because everybody is not called to entrepreneurship.
Say that again, ma'am.
Not everyone is called to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone is called to hustle. Okay? Some of you are called to work at these 9 to 5 positions, because guess what your ministry is, sir or ma'am, to make a difference in that atmosphere.
Last time I checked, Jesus had a job. He was a carpenter. That's a 9 to 5.
So everybody is not calling everyone from their job. Some of y'all are needed to be in there to promote other people who are out here doing different works, to sow into them. That is probably part of your purpose. But we get so caught up in, well, I just need a house. Why? I need a car. Why?
Because they like the filters and angles on the gram.
So the other part about it is, when we think of vision boards, because I hate vision boards. I really, really do. Because what I see when I see vision boards is, I created a vision and I left God out of it.
And that's usually what that means. These are the things that I want to do. These are the only things that I'm comfortable working on.
Yes.
And I don't want to delve any deeper than that.
On vision boards, like T said earlier, you always see houses and big ticket items, another car,
losing weight,
degree, losing weight, maybe a vacation, something like that. You rarely see character up there.
Yeah.
You rarely see integrity. Where is my integrity lacking this year?
Yep.
Where are things that I said I was going to do for myself, but because it was for me, I said, oh, I don't have to deal with that.
Right.
Because that's literally a breaking your integrity, because you're not keeping a word to your own self.
True.
So
that.
if you can't keep a word to your own self, how can you keep a word for others?
Can I say something really quickly? I
Yes.
just heard it. Those of you who put self-care on your vision board, are you really trying to care for yourself? Or are you just trying to escape something?
Lord, my mind.
Because that's what you say it. I just need some me time. You need some you time, or you just want everybody else shut up?
There you have it. There you have it.
Are you really working on yourself during that me time? Or is it just an excuse to be lazy?
And to add to that, that's another thing we don't see on vision boards. What relationships am I restoring this year?
Oh, because everybody is cut off.
What relationships am I restoring? Because there's a time and a season for everything, and not everything is meant to be torn apart. Sometimes you have to sew it back.
Yeah, some things are meant to be restored and refabricated.
That's
a refurbished item.
But we don't want to think about that. We want to think of just tangible things, because anytime it comes to working on a heart posture, we act like it's too much work. So take some of that stuff. I really would say reevaluate your vision board. Do I have something similar to that? I do write a list of things that I would love to accomplish during the year. But then I also ask God, well, what's on your agenda? And if there's some things that I need to take off the list, and he's like, that's not the time nor the season for it,
right,
then I will take it off, because here's what's going to happen. I can have it on my list all day, and then I'm going to literally drive myself crazy trying to obtain a goal that God already said it ain't the time for it.
Yep, that's very true. So it's important to include him. He needs to be a part of that process. And even if you are honest with yourself and you go back to your vision board and you look at the things you put on there and you didn't make room for God, tell him now that you're willing to move whatever off that board he doesn't want. Whatever is in the way of him molding you and shaping you into the person that he desires you to be. Not who you want to be, not who you think you are, not who you have been lied and told that you are. The person he designed, that thought he had before you entered your mother's womb, that person. And I would encourage you to go back and change some things or just remove some things off in total. But again, not bashing those that do vision boards because they're good. Even biblically, you should write the vision because there's a reason to write it. When you write it, and when you're writing it, I don't want to say you're putting it in the atmosphere, but you are kind of putting a stamp and a seal on what you believe God is saying to you or where you think he's leading and directing you. And it also kind of puts fear and tremble in the enemy because a part of you has to believe it in order for you to write it down.
And it's giving you clear sight.
Very clear sight. So vision boards are necessary. We're just saying step your game up about them because every year it's something frivolous. I'm really tired of seeing the cars and the houses and the weight loss and the degrees. What about something else?
Yes.
Don't just throw, I'm going to read books. Why? What type of books?
Thank you.
What for? How are you going to use them and implement them in your life?
Yep.
Don't just be reading fiction novels because you like them. What are you stimulating your mind for? What are we trying to grow?
Yes.
Besides just extra brain cells that are just going to sit there and be dormant because you ain't going to use them in your everyday life.
No.
So really dive deep into what are you trying to grow?
Yes.
Who do you need to apologize in your family? In your circle of friends? Who needs an apology?
And I really hear God saying some of you really need to go back and evaluate what is your purpose. Because I feel like a lot of you who are doing that are just spinning your wheels because you do not understand what your purpose is at all. You have no clue as to why God placed you here. And that is why you're just like, okay, car, house, kids, get married, go back to school again. Don't know what I'm going back to school for, but I got to do something. And it's kind of like you're looking at your hands like, what do I do with my hands now?
Exactly.
And just going back and you're bored. And the reason you're bored is because you have already attained everything that you feel like the world says that you need to attain. And God is like, but there is so much more that I have that I want you to do. There's so much more that's inside of you, but you refuse to seek me so I can pull it out of you.
Yes. Yeah.
So really go and pray and ask God, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Because he will literally answer you. You'll be surprised.
And you need to prepare yourself for the answer.
Yeah.
And that's the main problem we have. That sense of I want to be in control.
Because what you might find when you pray for the answer is that you probably did some things that he didn't want you to do, and now you have to go back and undo them.
Yeah. Or he wants you to do something that you're afraid to do.
Yes. Yes.
So, yes, it's very important that he be a part of that plan. Because the only reason why is it's going to work out for your betterment. It's for your benefit that he be a part of that plan. Mm-hmm. It is for your benefit. Not to stunt on the gram. It is for your benefit.
Not for everybody to look at you and see that you got it all together before 40.
Yes.
No.
Because, sir, ma'am, sir, you don't. You're just a really great actor. You don't have it all together. You have no clue what you're doing. You just look good doing it. And to some of you, you're content with that.
Yeah.
But I would definitely ask that you dive deeper. Want more for yourself and your legacy. Because what you don't want is for your children to have to fight the enemies you refuse to.
Child, say that.
Because you'll leave them. And now your children have to fight it. That's what generational curses are.
Literally.
And I'm just not talking about in the spirit. I'm talking about in your bloodline.
Yes.
Lose that weight, not just because you want to look good, because you don't want heart disease and diabetes and cancer to pass on through your lineage.
Yes. Yes.
You do not want your children to have to face your battles because that's what you're leaving. Let me fix this anger issue. Let me fix this resentment. Let me fix this abandonment issue I have. You are leaving them for your children and their children to have to now deal with.
Yep.
So let's put our big girl and big boy panties on and do better in the year of 2020. Because you got time.
Yeah.
And let's set a list out for next year.
Hey, God.
I would definitely encourage those who have held on to keep holding on.
Yes.
This is definitely the year of reaping. For those that have sown and toiled in tears, this is the year of reaping. You had set your goals already. They're in place. You wrote down the vision that God gave you. Mm-hmm. It will happen. He has not changed his mind. He has simply changed his strategy. His method is different.
Yes.
The plan is the same. So hold on.
Don't let go. God is literally confirming, and it's funny to me because in this season, especially this first quarter, the enemy has been fighting hard to obscure a lot of our views and how we see things. Because you literally are that close. God has already, like T said, spoken a word for this year. This is a season of reap. This is a season of the love realm. This is the season of unending rain. And so what you are seeing is the enemy throwing a temper tantrum at the beginning of the year because it did not work.
Right.
And the funny thing is, if you have been privy to see this, then it literally has caused you to laugh out loud in the enemy's face.
Right.
Because God has already shown you this. So for those of you that are there, like he said, hold on tight. Because with the reaping, you're going to see, all right, Lord, a lot of people become offended.
Right.
Of you surpassing them. They literally counted you out.
Oh, they most certainly did.
They counted you out. And for those of you who felt like people were counting you out, that they were looking down their nose at you, that they were snubbing you, you perceived it right, and God is about to restore all of that. And there are some things that he is just going to give and lavish you, and it is going to draw such attention to you because people are really going to say that you didn't deserve it, not knowing the tears that you cried, the prayers that you have prayed, the service that you have sold. They have no clue what you were doing in that prayer closet. And if they only knew that you were storing up treasures in heaven that are literally about to come into the natural realm. So for you, I say, job well done. It is well deserved. You have no clue, and God is well pleased.
Very well pleased. So now is the season for planting seeds for the next season. Yes. Now it's time to plant for the next season.
Yep.
Because there's going to be overflow in this one.
Yes, God.
So you do not want to be content you don't want to be content. You don't want to be stagnant.
No.
And complacent. So start sowing seeds for the next season. But you will most definitely reap from the seeds that you have sown in the last 3 years.
Oh, wow. Wow. Hallelujah. That is definitely an overflow moment. So I have nothing else to say. T, you got anything else?
That's it.
Where can they find you?
Instagram is Styles by Tanisha J, and Facebook is Tanisha Williams.
And as always, guys, you can find me on Charmaine Cures on Facebook and Instagram. Please go and subscribe to our channel on Anchor. We would love to hear from you. Inbox us, send us questions. Shouts out to Voyage Atlanta Magazine. We thank you for sharing our story. And we just want to go into the world and let you guys know that you are not alone. We are always praying for you, praying over you. And we love you. Like, no lie, guys.
Yes.
That's the whole reason that we felt led to do this, is for you, not for us. God is literally doing something through this podcast, and we're excited to see it, not for us, but for you. My heart is just overwhelmed that he would choose myself and Tanisha to be a vessel for this. But the fact of the matter is that we know it's needed, and we just want to love on you and just thank God for you and what he is about to do, and not just our lives but in yours as well. He is literally breaking up some things this
Right,
year,
yeah.
and it is just amazing to see, and we're just proud to be a part of it. So once again, follow us, like us on all social platforms, and until next time, guys, write your vision.
Make it plain.
Thanks again for listening. As always, we hope that you were blessed by today's discussion. To keep up with the latest on the She Laughs podcast, be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Spreaker. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at She Laughs Podcast. If you would like to donate to this ministry, please feel free to send all donations to paypal.me/She Laughs. And don't forget to send us your questions. As always, we love to hear from you. Until next time, stay blessed.